Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, hi. I was calling because I wanted to speak to you about how to get a large personal loan from Discover with bad or fair credit. Would you want to hear that? All right, that's cool. So I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation because you're going to love what you hear. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great, as blessed, as prominent, as successful as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to explain to you how to get a large Discover personal loan with bad or fair credit. And there is a step by step that has proven very effective. Number one, you want to understand Discover loan terms. So when we talk about Discover loans, what are those, right? You need to understand that. So when we talk about Discover loans, we're talking about unsecured loans, co-signed loans, debt consolidation loans. So this is the trifecta, the three types of loans you need to think about. And the amounts oscillate between $2,500 to $35,000. The APR from 6.99% to 24.99%. There are no fees. Fantastic. And with Discover, the terms you can have 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, or 7 years. Now, I would not recommend 7 years because you don't want to actually just get stuck in debt, right? 3 to 4 years, that's kind of cool. And the time to funding 24 hours. If you have the right equipment, if you have the right paperwork, not equipment, you don't need a piece of equipment to get a loan from Discover. Gosh, if you have the right paperwork, you can actually get everything within 24 hours. And you can get your money within 24 hours. And there are no extra conditions for this loan. Okay. And actually, one thing you have to understand here is that with Discover loan, you have a whole constellation of things. You can choose from 5 repayment terms to find a monthly payment that fits your budget. We love that. And this is kind of cool, especially if you want a lower payment. You want to go for 5 years or 6 years, but please don't go to 7 years. This is not good. You can choose a longer term, but again, it's all about what works for you. Okay, you can choose a shorter term. So we're showing you right now on the screen, courtesy of Discover personal loans. You can see if you choose a 3 year repayment, a 5 year repayment, and a 7 year repayment, what kind of incidence that will have if you were to borrow $20,000. Okay, and again, they've taken one of the lowest APR at 6.99%. You might not get that if you have bad or fair credit. You're not going to get. Realistically, you're not going to get 6.99%. You probably get something in two digits, 12, 13, 14, or even 20%. The second thing you need to do after understanding Discover loan terms, you need to bank with Discover, okay? And my question here is I have a decision time for you right now. Are you currently banking with Discover? Who is your bank? Where are you banking right now? Where are you parking your moolah? Where are you parking your revenue? If you are not with Discover, then we can end the conversation now because you're not going to get a loan, especially a large personal loan with Discover with bad or fair credit if you're not banking with them. Point blank. I'm not even playing here because Discover will never tell you that if you don't bank with them, they're not giving any loans because it is not appropriate from a regulatory and I would say competitive point of perspective. But I'm just telling you, in reality, if you don't have business with them, they don't have no incentive to work with you, especially if you don't have a excellent credit. Okay, so when it comes to banking with Discover, I want you to really think about either opening a checking account with them. They have 1% cash back if you open a checking account with them. Okay, they have no fees. This is pretty good. They also have a savings account. This is pretty good. So for savings, they have CDs. So they have what they call high yield CD. I mean, I say what they call because for me, If you're paying me a 0.5% APY, phew, that's not high. That's not high yield. Is that a high yield city for you? Think about it. 0.5 APY. I mean, APY stands for annual percentage yield. That's nothing. That's peanuts. Okay? But again, here we're talking about establishing a relationship, a banking relationship with Discover, right? So I would say if you have some cash, 10 grand or 20 grand or 5 grand or 2 grand, you can just park that moolah at Discover, and you can have it in one of their high yield city. So they have that also. They also offer some retirement products. So they have IRA. So they have an IRA certificate of deposit. IRA stands for individual retirement account. So this is the kind of product that is very safe, and you might want to consider that also. And IRA CDs are a simple way to enjoy guaranteed returns and the peace of mind that comes with them, right? But of course, you are going to get very low APYs, very low interest rates on your money. But again, the good thing here is that by actually quote unquote sacrificing the low APY, you might get a good loan with a good APR from Discover. Step number 3, folks. Again, I'm speaking to you today about how to get a Discover personal loan, a massive Discover personal loan with bad or fair credit. And the third thing I want you to really think about is to explore other lending options with Discover. And you want to do this because, hey, stuff happens. Nobody can guarantee whether or not you're going to get approved, right? You might try. I mean, we're giving you all the tools, all the knowledge, all the expertise we have, so you can improve your chances of being approved, right? But nobody can control it. So in case you don't qualify for a personal loan, you can apply for a credit card. Why not? Okay, you can open accounts with them. You can open checking account, a checking account, a savings account, but you can also apply for a credit card. And there is a constellation of credit cards that Discover offers. For example, they have the Discover It Miles. They have the Discover It Cashback. They have the Discover It Chrome. They have the Discover It Secured Credit Card. And then they have the Discover It Student Chrome. If you have, I would say, bad credit and you don't qualify for a personal loan, you might want to start with the Discover It Secured Card, for example, because this card has no annual fee and gives you 1 to 2% cash back in rewards on purchases. Of course, it is a secured card, so basically your limits will come from the deposit you make, but it's a great way to actually build credit fast with Discover, because what Discover is really good at is that they constantly review your account, and if they see a pattern of positive and responsible card use, guess what? You're getting a gift, because they might actually upgrade rather. They will upgrade your account from secured to unsecured to a regular credit card. Okay, so for your convenience, we have summarized our selections for the best Discover cards by category on the screen right now. You can see here. Okay, you can see all the different types of credit cards they have and whom they apply to. Okay, and so besides this, the credit cards, you also have Discover student loans. They also offer student loans that you might qualify for. They also offer home loans. So again, you have a whole bevy of loan products that you might qualify for if you don't get approved for a large personal loan from Discover. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still having a very interesting conversation with you about how to get a large Discover personal loan with bad or fair credit. And this is an important question because a lot of people love Discover, and for a good reason. Discover is a great institution. They've been around for many years now, and and the cool thing here is that when you analyze the ecosystem of lenders, Discover is one of the few with a good APR. In other words, they do have affordable APRs. So you might want to, it makes sense to be interested in getting a loan from them. Step number 4, you want to get organized. So when we speak about getting organized, we're speaking about getting your financial documents in place. You want to get everything in place, and ideally, what you want to do, you want to keep things electronically, right? So you can have you can put things on the cloud, or you can put things on a USB key drive, for instance. But if you're not electronically inclined, like me, for instance, am I inclined electronically? I don't even know. But if you don't really are not into the whole thing about cloud and if you don't like that, you can still have a place in your house when you just store, or where you just put all the info that is necessary. And what is necessary here? You got to have your pay stubs, your tax returns, your W-2s and 1099s. You got to have your bank statements for the last 3 months. Discover wants to see that. They want to make sure that you are actually, because what they want to do is they want to reconcile basically the info that you have on other ancillary documents, such as pay stubs and tax returns. They want to reconcile that data to the data in your bank statements. That way, they're trying to do a 360 verification. Okay, and they just want to make sure you're not playing games with the numbers here. All right, and they also might want to see so your employer's contact information. And if you are self-employed, the requirements are analogous. They're similar. They want to see income tax returns. Maybe if you are self-employed, they might want to pay more attention to your 1099s and Schedule C on your 1040. So because if you are self-employed, you're not getting a W-2, right? So you have your own. So that's important. And they also want to have proof of address. So it could be insurance, proof of insurance, or a mortgage statement, right? Lease or rental agreement, for example, utility bill, voter registration card. All this will qualify as evidence of address. Step number 5, folks. You want to check your credit score. And this is important. You want to really learn how to access, interpret, and use your credit report. Why is it important? Well, listen, if you have a 560 FICO versus a 600 FICO, you are seeing a huge change in the APR lenders are charging you. So it makes sense to actually invest time and expertise in finding out your credit report, or your credit score for that matter. Let me just ask you something. And this is the big decision time for you right now. Big decision time. When was the last time you have checked your credit score? Do you even know what your score is? Is it 500? Is it 560? Is it 580? Is it 600? 625? 700? Do you have an idea? Do you? No? Yes? You got to have an idea. This is not something you have to actually be confused about, or you have to doubt. You have to know. And there are services. There are some free services, such as Credit Karma, for example, that allow you to check your credit score regularly. And Discover, as a matter of fact, Discover Cars has a service in place whereby customers can check their credit reports. And I believe it's not FICO. It's the Vantage score. But either way, you have an idea of where you stand. So this is important to know that. So you need to check your credit score to know exactly what the things that you need to work on to improve it, right? Because a credit score has 5 elements. You have account inquiries, 10%. The types of credit you have, what they call the credit mix, 10%. Your length of credit history, 15%. Amount owed, 30%. And payment history, 35%. And this is important to know. And the cool thing here is that you can check your credit score for free. Did you hear that? I love everything free. How about you? Do you love free? I love free. So it's free. You just got to go to a website called annualcreditreports.com. And that's it. You get your credit scores for free from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Very simple, okay? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And the cool thing here is that you actually, if you play the game correctly, you can actually get 3 credit reports in the year. You can get one in January, in the first quarter, from TransUnion. Second one from another one from Equifax in the second quarter, and a third one from Experian in the third quarter. That way you can compare and contrast the numbers on all of those 3 credit score. Okay, all the credit scores will be different, but there shouldn't be that much different anyway. And step number 6, folks, one thing I really want you to do is to contact Discover. Okay, we are talking about how to get a large personal loan from Discover with bad or fair credit. Okay, and you got to contact Discover. The cool thing about Discover is that they have a U.S. based staff, so their customer service are based. They're all based in the United States, and so that means that you don't have to talk to someone that's on the other. In another country, and you have problems understanding them, or a lot of issues happen. Banks that outsource, or credit card issuers that outsource their operations, we all know the pros and cons of that. But with Discover, they have a US based staff, and so you want to ask questions, you want to be curious here. Okay, I'm not asking you to go, you need to plan exactly what kind of question you're going to ask them. For example, you might want to know the credit score, like based on your credit score, if you can qualify for a certain amount. And do they offer hard pull? Do they offer soft pull? Do they offer a pre-qualification? They do in some cases. So you got to ask them, because depending on where you live, on your state, you might actually get a soft pull. And that's what you want, really, because you're trying to cover your ass, right? You're trying to actually risk as little as possible and not having a hard pull over and over and over. And you want to know whether, like, the car the loan that you want, is it what term can they allow you to have? 5 years, 4 years? Remember, they will allow you to have you can have a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 years, right? So my whole point here is that you are trying to have a conversation with Discover, and making sure that all the questions that you have are answered before you actually apply, before you fill out the application. Okay, you can ask them, for example, whether the loan that you're applying for, whether that loan has a prepayment penalties. So, for example, if you pay earlier, would you be penalized for that? Okay, another thing that you need to ask is about co-signers or co-borrowers. Would you qualify for that? In general, you can, but again, in the United States, banking is a state affair and a federal affair. So some states, such as California, they have their own rules, their own banking regulations. So that's why I'm just telling you to call and have a conversation with a rep before applying. So step number 7, folks. Now it's time to apply. This is the big enchilada, right? So you have followed all the steps that I just told you. And now you want to get your large Discover personal loan with bad or fair credit. You need to apply, right? You can't just do all the preparation and just sit there and just nothing's going to happen, right? So how do you apply? First of all, you need to contact Discover beforehand. If you go to Discover website, you can actually apply through the website. But this is something that we discourage folks to do. We actually do not advise people to do that, because of especially if you have bad credit or fair credit. You might want to actually contact them, and they can actually walk you through the application. They will ask you questions, and a rep can take your info on the phone and apply for you. Okay, or at least what you want to do is you want to talk to someone first before actually applying. And while you do that, please ask them if you can get a co-signer or a co-borrower, because that will actually improve your chances of getting a good rate, getting a good amount, and a good term. Okay, and please also double check your financial statements. You want to respond to requests for evidence. You want to follow up. Discover is pretty good they're really good at answering borrowers' inquiries within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. And but if you do everything right, especially the financial statements, this is one thing that a lot of individual applicants, they don't pay attention to. On the business side, folks understand the importance of it, so it's fine. But on the personal side, your financial statements are also critical. They are quintessential. I'm speaking about your balance sheet, your income statements, and your statement of cash flows. Those are important also. If you want to show Discover Card that you are serious, that you know exactly what you are asking them, that you have done your homework, that you have done your research, and that will lend credibility to your application. And this is all the more important because you already have bad or fair credit. So, so it's just something that you need to do to actually improve your chances of being approved. All right, folks. This was it for today's conversation. I was actually talking to you about how to get approved for a large personal loan from Discover if you have a bad or a fair credit score. Step number one, you want to understand Discover loan terms. Number two, you want to bank with Discover. Number three, you want to explore other lending options. Number four, you want to get organized. Number five, you want to check your credit score. Number six, you want to contact Discover. And number seven, you want to apply. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciated that. I will see you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.